Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to lesson 4 of our series on AutoCAD training for Autodesk. Last meeting we discussed about layers, dimension styles, and creating simple objects. And today we will continue discussing about on creating objects, but this time we are going to prepare an orthographic view, especially on the third angle projections. So we discussed last on the meeting, on the face-to-face meeting, about the first angle projection and the third angle projection. So which is basically the third angle projection is located at the third quadrant of the four quadrants of the work plane. So the top view of the object is in the third quadrant of the plane, while the first angle projection, the object is on the first quadrant of the plane. So to make it more understandable what is the first angle projection and the third angle projection, let me share with you some images about how this first and third angle projection works. So let's say let me take this image. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. So basically this is the undo. So I'm gonna put this image. Okay, so this is the first angle projection. We're showing the car front view of the car is the side of the car. So let's say this is the front view of the car, and on the first angle projection, the right side is showing the back of the car. So it means if I want to show the right side view of the car, I have to project from the rear side of the car. And I'm going to prepare a top view of the car, so I have to project the top view of the car, which is on behind the parallel projection. So that is the first angle projection. Compared to the third angle projection, the third angle projection is the opposite of the first angle projection, which is, just a moment. Okay, let me scale to 2.0. Okay, so the third angle projection is exactly what is viewed from this side of the car. For example, is okay, so this is the third angle projection, not this one, but let me check this out. Okay, delete. This is a third angle projection where I have viewed the car exactly on what has been seen at the front side of the car. So instead of viewing from the back side of the car or the rear side of the car, I will view the front side of the car. For example, I have the front view of the car, which is the side of the car, and then I have to view this from the left side, exactly on the front side of the car, and here from the bottom of the car. So if you look on the differences between the first angle projection and the third angle projection, it is the opposite of each other. So the first angle projection views the rear side of an object, while the third angle projection views the front side of the object. So that is the mere difference of the first angle and the third angle projection. Alright, so to continue with our lesson, let us draw the first angle projection, the third angle projection of this object. So first let us develop the front view and the side view of this object. Okay, so to begin with, let us draw some additional elements on this plate. Let us put some vertical lines, for example. Maybe here an object I could create maybe around plus 5 mm. Alright, an additional 20 mm plate, and then move to sideways by 20 mm, and then move it here. So basically I have this steel plate, okay, protruding on this plane, which is 20 by 20 mm angle. And then to make it more little bit complicated, I'm gonna offset this line, okay, from this point to here by 5 mm. So I have this, okay, wait, okay, trim, and then here. Alright, now I'm going to prepare a front view in the third angle projection of this object. Now let's do that. Okay, so following the images that we have previously, so to make it clearer, I will make a copy again of that object. Okay, so imagine that this is the car, and we are preparing the third angle projection. So it means this projection will happen always at the front of the object. So if I have this object on the plan view, I will project or draw the elevation facing this object, this side, and also facing this side. As you can see the arrow, I will draw the surface of this and also the surface of this. Okay, so to start with, I will create a line projecting this line. So first I will create another layer, which is, I could say, a construction line. Okay, construction line is not printable, so I will click this to off, and I will create a construction line color number 9, and then okay, then the line weight will be default, and then okay. Now I have the construction line. Now I will double click the construction line to make it current, then close. Then I will create an extension line by commanding XL vertical, okay, and then XL vertical, XL vertical, and at the same time XL vertical. I will create a XL horizontal to create the base. So imagine that the thickness of the plate is around 5 mm, so I will offset by 5 mm from the base. And then the height of this protruding angle could be maybe around 25 millimeters, so offset by 25 millimeter from the base of the top plate. And then now there will be some sort of steps, as you can see from here. So let's imagine that it will be around 10 mm, okay, down. So now I can start tracing the line. So let's, using our imagination here and some logical projection in our mind, so let's say I will create a polyline, but now I will use the layer. So again, create a layer and then create a solid line, double click, and this is now the current layer. Now command polyline P, trace the object like this, and then here, and then here, and then here, next point, and then close command. Now erase all the elements, which is the extension line. Erase all of this extension line. Okay, now the object is quite clear, but there would be some hidden line which is not visible on the front side of the element. So the visible lines are the holes which is not visible on the front view of this object. So I have to create another vertical lines. Okay, create these vertical lines. Okay, and then create another horizontal line which signifies the line which is behind the protruding object. Then I can trim and then change these horizontal lines to a different layer. Let's change these lines, okay, to a hidden line. Okay, perfect. Now there will be some sort of hidden line as well here, so I'm gonna trim it. Trim, 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 and then match properties, MA. Then select all the holes. Now the next move is to prepare the center line of the holes, which is projected on elevations. So we'll create a line here again, projecting the center line of the holes. Create another line to set the boundaries of those center lines. Once set, I will trim it again. So if you can notice, I trim it directly here because the settings is quite different from yours. So if you are using a lower version of your AutoCAD, you have to select first the boundaries before you trim it, before you can trim the lines. Now I can remove these boundary lines and then select these lines. Alright, and then change these lines to the layer of a center line. Line type could be 0.1, okay, or 0.1. Yes, perfect. Now I have the front elevation of that steel bracket. Now to check with the dimension, I can create another dimension showing in the elevation. So basically the important thing is the height of each element. So now first and foremost, let us change the layer to dimension. I change the layer to dimension. Now I can create now the dimension. So this is it. Continue working on it. Just make sure that everything is aligned. So to make sure that this is aligned, you can command DS, type DS, and then select that all the objects are snap on, select all, and then OK. Yeah. Oops, it's not aligned, so select it again. And then always, if you are preparing the dimensions, so you have these sub dimensions, which are the first dimensions. You must create also the total dimensions of the object. Okay, sorry, there was some sort of problem here. I'm going to close this. So DLI again, command the DLI, and then click. Then click. Now I have a total dimensions of 30. Now to make sure that these are the same with these elements are the same and all the dimensions are the same with the top view we created previously, let us create the dimensions again, DLI, showing the bottom of the base plate, and it must have the same dimension, the same length of the top view. Now, in order to create the left side view, it is not easy to create it manually. So there would be some strategies on creating that. So first we have to create the extension line, projecting to angle 45. So this is the angle 45. It must be put at the corner of your object. Now this time we're gonna do some projections from the front view and the top view to create the side view. So to do that, let's create a horizontal view of this to define the height and continually working on that horizontal line projecting to the vertical lines. So let us create the vertical lines here. Perfect. Now let us project the plan view to the side view. Now this time we already have the elements of lines. Another thing is to create the horizontal view of this again. So there will be multiple lines visible on your drawing area, but there's no problem with that as long as you can imagine how these lines intersect. Now let us do the polyline again by taking all the points intersected and let's see. Okay, so let's do the command. Okay, first change the layer into a solid line. Okay, but first and foremost, let us change all these lines to a center line. Okay, this is the center line. Now I'm gonna create a polyline which is made on the layer of solid line, starting at this point. Okay, and here, over here, over here, and then here, and then here, and then close. Okay, now I already have these lines, but there is a hidden line showing in this line, so I must create another line, polyline here, and then change this to a hidden line. So this must be hidden line. Now, okay, so everything is ready, so I can delete these lines. Wait, I should not delete this line, so because my intention is to show to you how everything is constructed. So this must be center line, and this must also be center line. Now I will now create another line. Okay, let's imagine that all the center line are off, so let's type this layer, and then center line is freeze. Okay, so now this is what we have seen here. Right, now create another line here, which is the invisible lines, or the hidden line. Okay, projecting the base plate, and also projecting the wall behind the base plate, and then trim. Okay, then match properties. Alright, perfect. So now we already have the front view, the top view, and the side view. Okay, to put the text, okay, let's continue working on the dimension. Take all these dimensions. Okay, then change the layer first. And put the dimensions. Oops, sorry, I never changed the layer. Must be dimension. Yes. Okay, and the total must be 30. So that is correct, because I have the same height on the left elevation and also the front elevation, and that is 30. And the side view must have at least 40. Yes, and that is correct, 40 mm, so exactly the same. So this is how the orthographic view works. So extension line, angle 45. So all start with the projections of the 45-degree angle, and all has to be projected along with this. Okay, sorry, it's already turned off. Okay, so make it another layer, and then switch on the center line. All right. So that is how we work on the projections of the orthographic view. Okay, so click this one, delete to make it clear. Okay, delete, and also this one is deleted. Okay, and then let's remove the grid lines by pressing F7. Okay, to make it better, trim it again. So this is it. Okay, we're almost done. And okay, so the projection is also done vertically, and these are all projected vertically on this line. So you have all this line projected. So I'm gonna change all the projected lines into a center line to avoid any confusion. Okay, but of course you can delete or off the layer of the projected lines. So this is the course for preparing the orthographic views. So we already discussed about preparing the orthographic views. So to recap our lesson for today, we already discussed on how to prepare the orthographic views, the front views, the projected views, and also the side views. We also discussed what is the difference between the third angle projection and the first angle projection. And this topic is very useful when we are preparing the elevations on the next project that we are going to do from the plan view that we are preparing in the next meeting. Alright, so thank you, and let us discuss the next meeting about the pen assignment. Alright.